What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. We're back. It's another day and another Audi. If you missed yesterday's video, you should really go check it out, because yesterday I bought an Audi S4 convertible 6-speed manual transmission with a V8 engine. Yes, what a blast. And I decided, hey, I'm on a roll, man. I bought one Audi, let's buy another one. So from Insurance Auto Auctions, I rolled the dice, and I ended up with a $2,600 Audi Q5. Now, the adorable little S4 right here was only $4,600. And if you don't know how that gamble paid off, you need to go back and watch yesterday's video. This one I got for about half the price, and I thought, it's a charity donation? Those can go either way. Charitable adult rides, I think, is where it came from. Sold through Insurance Auto Auctions, 145,000 miles. Clean title, by the way, that's from ACV Auctions, clean title. And this is from Insurance Auto Auctions with a clean title. It's got good looking Pirelli tires. The one thing that stood out to me, though, that is a little scary is this. It's missing the front piece, but in the photos they showed it laying on the ground. So they had the piece, I just hope they included it. But this, the tow hook. So, for whatever reason, it was towed to its final destination before being donated. That's a little bit scary. Now, this is a 2010 Q5 Quattro. This is the, what did they call it? Ultimate Preferred? I don't remember, man. It was like Ultimate Premium or Premium Ultimate, something like that. It's whatever. It's supposedly a really good trim model. It's a good looking vehicle. I noticed immediately that it had a dead battery, so maybe that's why it was towed. It needed a battery. I'm here to tell you, I've already been into this, but I have not started it. I have not driven it. I don't know if it drives. All I did was take the battery out so I could put it on charge for you guys. Normally, I try not to touch the cars at all until I'm filming, but since this one was dead, I knew I had to have the battery charged in order to drive it. You know, I like to take these things on their 10-mile runs, and you can't do that if you got a completely dead battery. The booster pack's not going to run this thing for that long, and I don't want to damage the alternator. So here's the interior. Very nice. It's got the panoramic roof as well. Also really, really nice. This is a pretty nice place to be. Back here, however, well, I made a bit of a mess, and I'm gonna have to address that today. Let me just say that getting the battery out of one of these, well, it's not a whole heck of a lot of fun. So on the subject of batteries, let's see how the battery's doing. I left it here last night, and I walked away because the battery was aggravating. This looks like a very expensive battery, and I don't want to replace it unless I absolutely have to. And I sure don't want to replace it before knowing if this thing actually runs and drives. So I tried the Sam crack method. I've had a little bit of luck, but this thing was fighting me every step of the way. So if you don't know what the Sam crack method of charging batteries is, well, you take the battery that will not charge, and no matter which charger I put on it last night, nothing. It wouldn't charge at all. It had no voltage, 0 volts, and it wouldn't take any either. I tried the old school method of like shocking it with 200 amps. You know, bang. Nah, it didn't work either. So I tried the Sam crack method. Take a good battery, hook your jumper cables to it, then run them to the battery that's completely dead. And then at that point, put your battery charger on it, and hope that eventually this battery comes back to life. Well, it kind of worked, because this battery and the charger hooked up to that managed to leave it with a whopping 5.8 volts after charging all night. So I'm gonna guess that this battery's probably shot. But let's go ahead and put my little meter on it here, and let's just see where it's at. This battery is pretty unique, and it's gonna have to work to 16 volts. That's only because we're charging it. This battery is very unique to that vehicle. We're gonna have to 5.7. Well, that's even less. That's even worse than it was. Well, either way, I don't have another battery that's going to fit in that vehicle. So This is going to have to be used. We'll have to use the jump pack, and hopefully we can make it 10 miles down the road and 10 miles back. All right, I saved some time because the last thing I want to do is waste your time. Let's open this. Oh, come on. It doesn't work? Okay. Let's hope that back opens. Anyway, if you're ever wondering on your Q5 where your jump points are, well, your negative is right here by the strut tower. Your positive is way up here on the windshield cowling. So that's where it's at. We've got juice, but for whatever reason, it doesn't look like the back wants to open. Oh boy. I just knew, since that one was so good, that this one was going to be really bad. It won't open. How do we put a battery in one that won't open? I don't think there's an emergency release. The battery is way in the back there, and it's about 1,000 degrees in this thing. So, well, this is fun. This is really fun. We have lights. Maybe I need to start it. I guess we can try that. Is this push to start? No, you got to put the key in it. Okay, we have lights. I guess we're going to give it her first start. There's no button. It runs. Feels like it's got a slight misfire. Will it open now? There we go. There we go. Oh, it's out of gas too. 145,000 miles. Check engine light came on immediately. And it's definitely switch off engine, oil pressure too low. Oh no. Oil pressure too low, huh? I'm just gonna say maybe it's not low oil pressure. Maybe it's just a bad oil pressure sending unit, right? Just a bad sensor. It's probably just a bad sensor. It's probably not. So this is your speaker. I think that's like some Bose speaker, and then you've got all of these covers. These are great, man. Like I said, changing the battery on this is so much fun. I'll show you guys where everything is now. I ended up using a different battery. That's a AAA battery from 2019. It's dead. It's bad. But this one had 75 cold cranking amps. The one that came out of this, well, let's just say it had none. It had 0 cold cranking amps when I ran the test on it. So yeah, here's the front, and here's this, and the jack is over there, and I've got some tools back here. You move this out of the way, all of this. Yeah, changing the battery is way too complicated in something like this. Either way, finally, you get to the battery. It sits right under here. There it is. And before we go any further and start messing with it, I'm going to disconnect my booster pack so we don't die. All right, in an effort to save even more time, I dropped the battery in. It's not properly mounted. There's the bolts. Just gonna leave that there. Booster pack is on. I moved all this crap out of the way. It is so daggum hot out here today. Let's see if we can lift these up and scoot the chairs back so you can get a better look of the interior of this thing here. And I guess I'm gonna need to go grab my diagnostic scanner and find out why. There we go. Find out why that check engine light came on immediately, because obviously something is very not okay with this. The low oil pressure is concerning, very concerning. I went to check the oil, and well, look at that. They don't give you a dipstick. Crazy. In 2008, on the V8, you get a dipstick. 2010, nah, no dipstick. You don't need it. And well, I'm assuming we have to check the oil level somehow using this computer. So why don't we fire it up and let's see if we can great, dead. What? I put the booster pack on it. Why would it be dead? Oh, thermal protection. It got hot. It's too hot? Come on, man. Get over it. Let's try it. Let's try this. Yeah, I know. You're all kinds of pissed off, aren't you? There we go. There we go. It's running. So, this is like an iDrive. It says, please refuel. I don't see the low oil. Ah, we don't have a low oil pressure light anymore. Switch off, oil pressure low. Lovely. Okay, car. Let's see, please wait. Oil, there we go. Oil level. Oil level display available after 2 minutes. Engine must be warm and turned off. Great. We have to, so I have to let it run with low oil pressure. This is beautiful. I have to let it run with low oil pressure for 2 minutes when the car is screaming at me to turn it off. I gotta let it run. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't even know how to work any of this. We got so many buttons, and I guess I'm just gonna let it run. Let's listen to the engine. Let's give it a little rev. It sounds fine. It sounds fine. I don't even hear a top engine tick, nothing. It sounds absolutely fine. Here, come listen to it. Now this is direct injection. This is absolutely direct injection. Take a look at those big injectors right there. Right in the top of the cylinder heads. Looks like timing chain on the back of the motor, of course. That's how Audi loves to do things. It sounds fine to me. I don't hear anything that I'd be worried about. I knew this was going to be a bad one, though. I did. I just knew it. A donation, and it was cheap. Yeah. I guess I just got to let it run, guys. So let me go get my diagnostic scanner. It's worth plugging that in to see what else we can find wrong with this. Considering we just started it and the battery's been out of it all night long, I'm very curious as to what the check engine light is complaining about now. All right, this thing is almost done running its codes, and there are a ton of fault codes. I just turned on the air conditioner because I am dying. It's about to have a dang heat stroke out here. It says it's done, so I guess we'll find out. ECM 10 codes. Oh boy. And we just started it. The important window works. Less important window works. Sunroof? I guess that's a no. Sunroof doesn't seem to do anything. Huh, okay, well, trouble codes. And yes, the AC does work, and it seems to be running just fine. Oh, lots of misfires. Cylinder 1, cylinder 4, cylinder 3, cylinder 6, cylinder 5, random misfire, camshaft position correlation, bank 2 sensor A, crankshaft position, camshaft correlation sensor 2, bank 2 sensor A, oxygen sensor circuit, bank 2 sensor 2, sensor positive current control circuit, bank 2. Oh boy, she's a little upset. We've also got system voltage too low. No real surprise there. Let's go ahead and get out of this. Give me just a second. I'm going to try to just erase all the codes, and we'll see what comes back. All right, so we've cleared all the codes, and we're left with 3 very concerning codes. One is reduced oil pressure switch fault. Now, that I think is actually a good code, because it's telling me that the oil pressure switch is not functioning, which means it probably has good oil pressure. But the ones that are most concerning, P001800, P001900, and they both have the same description. crankshaft position, camshaft position, correlation, both of them are bank 2, both of them are sensor A, and no matter what I do, those codes will not go away. So either way, I'm going to just assume that that is not correct. We're going to go ahead and shut this off. Switch ignition on to continue. Oil level displayed after 2 minutes, engine must be warm. It's been 2 minutes, engine warm, and the car is not running. Are you kidding me? Let's try it again. This is insane. Oil level display available after approximately 2 minutes. Engine must be warm and must be switched off. Let's turn this off. Where the heck is the off button? Let's turn the radio off. Great, so I think there's something wrong with the oil level indicator, because it's not working. I say to hell with it, guys. It's been sitting here running. Everything looks all right. I don't see anything. I don't see any oil or any smoke or smell anything funny. I know that my booster pack is not going to run this thing forever, and I don't have all day. We're going to lose daylight, so against my better judgment, we're going to go ahead and take it anyway. Oh, there it is. Oil level. It says the oil level's full. So it's probably just a bad switch then, guys. If it's full of oil, then it's probably just a bad switch. Now, the cam sensors, the cam and crank correlation, that's a different story. Oops. I think it fired up on its own with that battery in the back. If so, that's impressive. I've had that battery for a long time, and it's dead as a doornail. But that battery may have come back to life just enough to keep this thing going. Let's clean this window off. I can't... Oh, does this have adaptive cruise control as well? Or no, that's intermittent? I don't know. There we go. There we go. Oh, wow. Those are great windshield wipers, man. Okay, let's... Does it have navigation? It does. It does have navigation. Very nice. Can we just pull up the map? How's that map look? Ooh, nice and yellow. Wow. All right, listen. Check engine light came back on immediately. Let me get buckled up, and I'm nervous, but I put the dealer plate on it. We're gonna take it for a ride and see what it does. Hopefully the noise of the air conditioner is not bothering you guys too much. Do we have a backup cam? We do. It sucks, but we have one. It is so hot out here, guys. I got to have the air conditioner on, so forgive me if it's annoying. I will try to shut it off here in just a few minutes. Before we take it on like the real drive, why don't we just take it around the corner real quick? Because if something happens, I'd rather it happen close to home, and I'm more than a little leery of this one. It shifted. I mean, we're only going like 20 miles an hour, but it shifted, and it's just shifted again. Now we're going 30, and it still says low oil pressure. We're going 40. Brakes feel good. It's downshifting like it's supposed to. It actually rides very well. Man, you telling me I've been missing out on Audis this whole time? I had no idea. Okay, so it's got a faulty oil pressure switch. Whatever. I mean, how much does that cost to replace? How hard is it to replace? I have no idea. I don't know. Remember, this is a 3.2. It's naturally aspirated. This is not the supercharged. Well, that corner store is hopping today, isn't it? They got a live band out there. They're doing it every Friday. Steering seems nice. Gauges are all looking good, except for the flashing oil light. Other than the flashing oil light, it seems like everything is fine. There's no funny smells. Cold air. It's nice and comfortable. I don't know how to use the cruise control, but hell, I don't know. I think I just figured it out. Cruise control works. Yeah, I just did it. I don't know. Should we drive it? Should we drive it 10 miles? I'm a little leery to take it 10 miles, but I guess that's what we do with all of the cars, right? And if it can't make it, I might just have to leave it on the side of the road. I don't know. So far, it's running great. I'll give it a little throttle. There she goes. It's got good acceleration. This thing rides great. We're going almost 60. Take a look. We're at almost 60 miles an hour. Okay. I mean, what do you want? $2,600? $2,600. I mean, I don't want to celebrate yet because it is a little sketchy with that red oil light that keeps popping on the dash. And yes, I actually took my my scan tool and I went into the parameters and values, and I pulled up the oil pressure sensor to see if I could even get a value off of it. And unfortunately, it wasn't giving me any values in numbers, which is very strange. On most cars, it'll tell you the specific pressure. Even if it's 0 PSI, it'll tell you 0. On this one, it just said low. It wouldn't give me a number for where the oil pressure is registering. It just says low. So yeah, you got me, man. I don't know what that means. Right now, as good as this thing is running, and we are doing a steady 60 miles an hour, if this thing had critically low oil pressure, we'd be in some serious trouble about now. And it's running and driving absolutely great. Look at this. Absolutely great. Other than the sunroof not working, the check engine light being on, the cam sensor correlation is a little concerning, but could that not just be a bad cam sensor? That's where I'm at. I'm thinking this thing needs a little bit of maintenance work, and I don't know if I'm going to be the guy to put the maintenance into it or not. Not yet, anyway. At this point, I just don't know. But if it needs an oil pressure sensor, whoop-de-doo. And if it needs a cam sensor, again, whoop-de-doo. I did it on the S550. It can't be that big of a deal. It rides great, and it's got good acceleration. If we had a problem with the cams being out of sync, this thing should be making some pretty gnarly noises, and it definitely would not be running well. And it'd probably be misfiring like crazy. I'm here to tell you, it's not misfiring at all. Not at all. It's running absolutely perfect. You can see the check engine light is on, but it's not flashing. There's no misfires here. I don't know. So far, I've got no complaints. For $2,600 for a Q5, the ultimate premium, premier, whatever the heck they call it, you can't beat that with a stick, man. They come to snuff the rooster. We probably ought to turn that off before I get in trouble. Anyway, the radio works, sounds phenomenal. Again, the air conditioning's still working. Just go down the road just fine. We are at the halfway point. This is where we turn around. That means we have made it 5 miles at highway speeds, and other than the check engine light and an oil light, it's driving perfectly normal and very comfortable too, I might add. The Q5 is the middle of the road between the Q3 and the Q7, I think. I'm not an Audi person, but I think that's what it is. And for kind of a mid-size, decent-size SUV, not bad at all. Look at this. It's idling perfectly smooth. It's running perfectly. And we're halfway there. Well, I guess we'll get back on the road and we'll see if we can make it the rest of the way back. But look, I mean, I'll smash on it. There you go. Giving it some throttle. There she goes. She takes off, man. Not a problem. Shifts, like, man, the shifts are crisp in this thing. What a great vehicle. I've really been missing out, guys. I've avoided Audis like the plague. I think I've only had 1 or 2 ever on the channel. So going out and buying 2 of them at the same time, that's kind of a big deal for the channel. So far, I am really enjoying these Audis. Let's see if we can make it all the way back to AR headquarters. I'm going to tell you right now, listening to Alice in Chains, rooster on this. Oh man, that rocked. This thing apparently has a subwoofer. I was able to adjust the subwoofer, and once I got the bass and everything turned up, oh man. Well, I don't know what to tell you other than fires right up, air conditioning comes right on, works great, important window works, less important window works. Uh-oh. There it is. Switch is a little finicky. The sunroof, well, is it really that big of a deal? Truthfully, I don't even know how to work it, but none of the buttons seem to do anything anyway, so I don't think it matters. What is this, silicon? Max torque, optimum high temperature. Huh. I don't even want to know. What do you think that was for? And it's from Costco. I will say this. We'll open up the hatch. It runs very, very well. I did plug the subwoofer back in just because it sounds so good. Unfortunately, you got to take all of this crap out, the subwoofer, the spare tire, and all these little parts. If I shut this off, I have no idea what's going to happen. Chances are this battery is not going to come back to life. I've tried saving this battery before, and it just wouldn't do it. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's still dead as a doornail. It probably won't start this SUV back up. So I'm gonna leave this door open. We'll give it an opportunity though. I mean, we took it on, we've probably driven it 12 miles, something like it, 10.5, close enough. We drove it 10.5 miles, the battery light's on. As soon as I took off, but you know what isn't on? The oil light. The oil light's not on anymore. Wait, yeah, the battery's dead. There it goes. It's crapping out. Everything is starting to go crazy. Yep, here we go. Everything's going crazy because that battery is completely shot. Against my better judgment, I think I'm going to buy a battery for this. I do. I think I'll buy a battery for it. Maybe I can find one halfway cheap. Probably not. But here's the thing. The check engine light is not on, and the oil light is no longer on. I don't know what could have changed. I haven't done anything to it other than drive it. But would you check that out? Let's shut it off. It's not gonna start. In fact, everything's probably gonna die pretty quick. Key is out. Oh, it tried. No, stop. Stop. Oh, crap. It's just gonna keep going. That's about dumb. Should have shut off. Oh, the booster pack's overheated, so it won't. Oh, it's dead. I guess it's a good thing we got back when we did. Yeah, it's dead. Boy, we barely made it back, guys. We barely made it back. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this video. I've got a lot of stuff to do off camera. It's all just boring crap. I was actually going to put all of this back together, but I hate buying batteries. There's no point in putting it all back together because I'm going to have to take it all apart again. I guess I need to take that battery out. I probably need to just carry it home with me and go find a replacement. I think it's worth it. I really do. Let's see if I can get my key out of here. There we go. Got my key. It definitely needs a little bit of work. And am I going to be the one to do it? No, guys, I don't think so. I feel like I got a really good deal on this. I do. And I've got enough cars. I've got enough projects. That SSR, I've got so many new parts for it, guys. It's going to take a lot of my time. This was just like something extra, something fun. It was cheap. And I was like, man, $2,600? What's it going to hurt? You know, maybe it'll turn out to be something decent, and maybe it won't. And in my opinion, it's definitely decent. I don't know where the cam sensors are on this, but I'm willing to bet you with 145,000 miles, it probably needs cam sensors. You know, at this point, it's only complaining about one, but I mean, I assume it's got 4 intake and exhaust on each side. If it was me, I would just go ahead and put all 4 cam sensors in it. The oil pressure switch, the sensor, it seems to have resolved itself. So I probably wouldn't mess with it unless it comes back on again. Other than that, man, it's a great running SUV with cold air, and the fact that it rides so well. It's got good tires. It rides well. It doesn't make any noise, creaking or knocks or bumps or rattles. It's a very quiet and very comfortable SUV. Not to mention, I think it looks pretty dang good, guys. Audi knows how to make a stylish looking car, truck, SUV, whatever you want to call this thing. I consider it an SUV. I think they did a phenomenal job. And the S4, it's a little bit older, but I think it still looks really, really nice. And I was looking yesterday, and I found an S8 from the same era, 2009 S8. That's the facelift S8. It's also the 5.2 liter V10 Quattro. Yep, for under $10,000. So I could have myself an S4 V8, an S8 V10, and a Q5 V6. 6, 8, and 10. What more do you want, man? I'm probably not going to get the S8. I think it's a little expensive for what it is, and the V10, nice engine, but I don't know that I want to drop 10 grand into something like that. So most likely, I'll go ahead and get this thing titled, I'll wash it, clean it up, and I'll put a battery in it. As well as it drives and it runs, I'm probably just going to put this one right back up for sale and see if we can't flip it. Maybe make a few dollars off of it. And with that, we're out of here, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Definitely drop a comment below and tell me what you think of the 2010 Audi Q5 Premium Plus Premier Ultimate, whatever it is. It's a top tier vehicle, guys. This is the Quattro for $2,600 as a donation from IAA. I have no idea what it was doing there other than it needs a battery. It seems like a decent deal, and I'll be the first to admit, the battery I pulled out of it is an AGM battery. It's probably like a $300, maybe more if you went back, and it's an Audi battery that I took out of it from like 2015, so definitely time to replace it. It's an expensive battery, but expensive enough to ditch the car? No. A check engine light for a cam sensor? Again, doesn't make sense that you would ditch a car over it. Now that oil pressure sensor probably scared them. It probably came on, I'm gonna guess that they freaked out, thought that it was low on oil or it ran out of oil and the engine was ready to blow. Well, guys, I just drove it 10 miles and got on it pretty good. Cruise control set at 60. Not a problem, man. It's really probably just an intermittently faulty switch. It just goes to show sometimes when you take risks, well, you get rewarded. Drop your comments below. Tell me what you think of the Q5. And you know what? I got something to show you real quick. Before I get out of here, one more thing. Other than the Quattroporte is going up for sale. It runs, it drives. I did what I wanted to do with it. I took a risk. I put an exhaust on it, and I took a car that was dead as a doornail and brought it back to life. Same thing with the X5. It was gotten rid of because the EGR cooler was bad, and it was going to cost ridiculous amounts of money to fix it. Fixed it for like $300. No big deal. Monkey Wrench and I fixed it in an afternoon. Again, no big deal. This one right here, though, man, my new police car. This is one of 2 police cars. You notice the theme here? I'm buying in pairs currently. This is one police car, the P71 Panther platform. I don't even have any idea what year this is. And I'm not going to show you too much of it. You should be able to tell from looking at it, this thing has been parked. It's been sitting for a really, really, really long time. You know what I love about it, though? This is the whole reason I bought it. Look at that exhaust. I bought it for that exhaust. You'll never believe it, but I got this car for $425. It was a buy it now. I didn't even win the auction. Buy it now, $425. It said it ran and drove. So I jumped on it. I was like, that is a steal of a deal for a Panther. Well, it got here and I noticed, well, a couple things. Number one, let's see, it's a pedal car, so it was junked. It says it didn't run and drive, but then at the top they wrote run and drive. So it didn't, and then it did. I don't know. And then they wrote bad fuel pump. I did not see this in the listing, although I assumed from all of this goodness, I assumed there was going to be some fuel system work that needed to be done. I didn't see the windshield is really busted pretty badly. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot. I have yet to attempt to start this or do anything with it. It was dropped off here and, you know, there it is. Rotten tires. I think a couple of them are flat. But for 425 bucks, come on, man. Surely it's not that big a deal to drop the tank, clean it up, maybe just put a whole nother, maybe buy a used tank and pump assembly. You know, maybe that's the best way to do it. And just pull this one out, put the new one on, and see what it does. These are great cars, man. So stay tuned. I'm gonna see what I can find for parts. I know it's gonna need a fuel pump because it says it, and if it needs a fuel pump, it probably has a rotten fuel tank as well. So you might as well just find one that's decent and put the whole, just swap them out. If you're excited about that, give me a thumbs up, man, because I love this. Not to mention, after this one, I bought another Ford Taurus. I still have the Taurus SHO, the V8 that disappeared. It's been well over 3 weeks now. They found the car, but unfortunately the car is not here. The car never left Fort Lauderdale. So I'm currently trying to get the car here. A 99 Taurus SHO, the V8 Yamaha engine, man. But that's not all. I also bought another Ford Taurus SHO, a police car. This is what I'm talking about, pairs. I bought another police car. It's a 2016 Taurus SHO twin turbo. It's not actually an SHO though. The police department got the SEL model, which is a dumbed down base model, but they got the upgraded suspension and they got the twin turbo V6. So it's an SEL SHO. Strange combination, but a beautiful car. And I stole it. I swear to you, I stole it. I paid 425 bucks for this one. And I think I paid $4,500 for a 2016 Ford Taurus SHO. Police car. You got to be kidding me. More good news. The title came in for this, so this one will be ready to go up for sale soon. I got a couple new badges because the badges look really, really bad. They're really faded and worn out. I got new factory OEM Kia badges to put on it. We got to clean this thing back up again, and that one should be ready to go very soon. I got a lot of cars ready to move out, and I'm trying to bring some more content in. This one, I think, is going to be so much fun to not just get running. This goes back to like the beginning of the channel. This is what it was all about right here. Junked, forgotten, old, crappy cars, bringing them back to life, right? And I can only imagine what the first wash of this is going to be like. It's going to be a complete transformation. And I love those wheels, man. American Racing wheels, or I don't know, maybe they're non-American Racing. Either way, I think the wheels look really good. And I think you get this thing washed up, it's probably going to look pretty damn nice. The 1940 Chevy is probably going to be going down the road very, very soon as well. I gotta move these cars out. They've been sitting around here too long. I need fresh content coming in. So all of this stuff is going to be moving out while I get some new content cars in. So stay tuned. There's a lot coming. The SSR is still in the garage. I still got a lot of work to do to that. I'm hoping I can get a video for you guys next weekend. Cross your fingers. I hope that I can get it all done. There is so much work. Shocks, struts, springs, coils, plugs, wires, water pump, tensioners, belts, PCV valve, fuel filter, transmission fluid filter, transmission pan, rear differential fluid. Yeah, I'm going through it, is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm going through the whole thing. It just had an oil change, so it doesn't need that. And a new thermostat for it as well. And yeah. It just got a new power steering pump, so it doesn't need power steering flushed either. So there's a lot to do coming up. If you enjoy the content, hit that thumbs up button. Guys, subscribe to the channel because I got a ton of content coming for you. And until next time, stay safe out there. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.